Welcome back for today's installment of Cardano Insights, where we track the important developments at the very pulse of Cardano and its ecosystem. So let's get straight into it. Now, the Cardano ecosystem has made some significant progress in terms of growth and development over the past 12 months, and is looking primed for this to continue to pick up speed throughout 2023. With the ongoing development of working protocols already deployed, coupled with some real big introductions that are soon to arrive, the Cardano landscape, use and utility is fast evolving. A missing piece, however, to complement the ever-growing number of dApps and marketplaces that is going to have a positive impact on growth in liquidity and user activity is the introduction of a healthy variety of stablecoins. With 4 out of the top 10 cryptocurrencies themselves being stablecoins with a combined market cap of over $130 billion in value, it's clear they play a significant role in any vibrant cryptocurrency ecosystem. Due to the volatility in crypto markets, stable assets provide huge benefits, enabling users to store and lock in value on-chain, protecting themselves from the volatility whilst retaining self-custody, avoiding the need to operate on centralized exchanges that offer crypto to fiat conversions. Stablecoins is what fuels a healthy DeFi ecosystem, as it encourages far more participation and activity, as individual users or businesses have a solution in stablecoins to park profits made when interacting with DeFi products, trading, or when receiving payment in the form of crypto. With stablecoins, the value can be secured. The locked value, speed of settlement, ability to retain self-custody and operate completely on-chain makes stablecoins a necessity for any blockchain ecosystems to flourish. Until now, we've seen the introduction of RUSD, a synthetic stablecoin asset from Indigo Protocol, and SharesLake's RUSD, a USD-backed stablecoin, which can be used on both the Cardano and SharesLake network. But although we have some stablecoin options available already, I think it's going to take a little more time for users en masse to get comfortable with interacting with them, and I would guess that many Cardano users are waiting on the arrival of JED and Emergo's USDA before we see a real uptick in stablecoin use on Cardano. I guess it's only natural that the masses would gravitate towards these two solutions, considering JED stems from one of IOG's research papers and has been in development for some time with lots of hype behind it, and Emergo's USDA is being delivered by one of Cardano's founding entities, which definitely enhances that element of trust. I think when it comes to stablecoins and what the wider market has experienced over the last year, users are a little more skeptical and reluctant to dive in to use newly formed assets. So building trust is key in order to get the traction and usage that we want to see from our Cardano stablecoins. So with the first version of JED to be launched later this month, Emergo's USDA is said to be arriving in Q1, and alternative options like Mayan Finance's USD-backed stablecoin USDM also expected in 2023, Cardano will soon have numerous stablecoin options available, which I think is really going to ignite activity on the blockchain, both from current users right through to attracting new entrants from other chains to come and explore what Cardano has to offer. So with the Cardano ecosystem on the cusp of having multiple stablecoin options, what about a DEX designed specifically to house and facilitate the trading of these stable assets? We know the ADA project was intending to launch DanaSwap as stablecoin DEX, but with their recent exit, it's left a gap to fill in this area. So enter TeddySwap, a new stablecoin DEX building on Cardano that aims to provide a decentralized platform for the trading of stablecoins in our ecosystem, and the good news is, it's launching very soon. With stablecoins being the most traded crypto asset historically, a stablecoin DEX should attract significant trading volumes, which in turn will open the path for liquidity providers to be able to earn more passive rewards for participation. By focusing on stable pairs, TeddySwap aims to create an environment where users can benefit from attractive yield opportunities with low slippage and minimal impermanent loss as a result of the reduced volatility of the stable assets. The introduction of a stablecoin DEX will no doubt contribute to increasing the capital efficiency of Cardano stablecoins, driving more value into the Cardano ecosystem. The stablecoin DEX will also deliver the fundamental infrastructure needed to enable Cardano users to seamlessly interact with Cardano stablecoin assets. Think of it as almost a dedicated Cardano stablecoin vending machine. So why the need for a dedicated stablecoin DEX when we have multiple DEX options already that will no doubt be offering stable pair options on their platforms? Well, TeddySwap explained that most DEXs are optimized using an invariant calculation that works well for assets that have variable prices. This means the impermanent loss is high and often slippage is high as well, especially on trading pairs with lower liquidity. TeddySwap, however, will optimize their AMM pools to use a stable swap invariant, meaning liquidity providers have low susceptibility to impermanent loss and slippage stays lower for traders. This, coupled with the yield opportunities that will be made available, means they can provide a better platform for liquidity providers that don't want to take on excess risk from providing liquidity for more speculative assets. And that means end users who just want to swap stablecoins and ADA have access to lower fees and more predictable swap prices. Once launched, TeddySwap will enable swaps for any stablecoin pair and also introduce wrapped assets of more stable crypto assets like Bitcoin. The V1 version of TeddySwap will be a stablecoin AMM DEX using a standard invariant calculation, which will form the basis for attracting the initial liquidity to the platform. TeddySwap V2 will optimize the AMM pools to use the stable swap invariant we discussed earlier. It's this that will lead to the liquidity providers benefiting from a lower susceptibility to impermanent loss and low slippage for traders. In terms of the yield opportunities for liquidity providers, TeddySwap will create dual asset liquidity pairs, providing equal amounts of stablecoins. The LP tokens received can then be staked to earn extra yield in Teddy tokens. Off-chain bot operators will also be rewarded in platform fees for participation, and the DEX will also offer savings vaults where you can stake your ADA and stablecoin assets in savings vaults to earn staking rewards and extra Teddy tokens on top. For the roadmap, the TeddySwap testnet is due to go live at the end of January, with a launch to the Cardano mainnet scheduled for February or March depending on the testnet performance, which if delivered will be great timing considering the big stablecoins that are launching this quarter. The public testnet for the V2 launch is stated to be ready in Q3, with the mainnet release in Q4 2023. Full code audits will be completed, however details regarding when or by whom this will be carried out by are still to be confirmed. Now, one of the things that caught my attention outside of the fact that the introduction of a stablecoin DEX is definitely going to be a much needed and great addition to the Cardano dApps DeFi space was the team behind the project itself. TeddySwap was created by Sapien Labs, a Haskell and Scala development and consultancy firm specializing in Cardano and Ergo projects. The Sapien Labs team consists of team members from well-known projects such as Anita BTC, ErgoPad, TosiDrop, Padea, and Harmonic Labs. The TeddySwap team includes a group of previous Cardano Foundation developers and lead developer Mikhail from Harmonic Labs, the creators of PluTS, which is an open source Plutus smart contract framework built from scratch designed to generate efficient smart contracts, whose progress we've covered in numerous episodes on Cardano Insights. So there we have it, another Cardano dApp under development in the form of a stablecoin DEX that is soon to be entering the ecosystem. We'll be sure to keep tracking the progress surrounding it and bring you the updates as it unfolds. Now, you may remember in previous coverage we discussed Muesliswap teasing about introducing a bond marketplace on their hybrid DEX. At the time, I speculated whether or not this would be aimed at AADA Finance's NFT loan bonds. However, yesterday the team at Muesli provided this update, revealing that it was in fact being developed to facilitate the trading of Optim Finance's liquidity bonds. As we covered in previous episodes, with the launch of Optim Finance, this introduced a new concept to the Cardano DeFi space in the form of liquidity bonds, which are bonds issued for lending and staking rights. With the introduction of Muesliswap's secondary bond market, these liquidity bonds can now be traded on the Muesliswap DEX. Optim's O-bonds are difficult to trade through AMMs due to their indivisible nature. This makes the secondary market of O-bonds a prime use case for Muesliswap's order book. Liquidity bonds are very specific to the Cardano staking framework. Lenders lend the staking rights to their ADA. They receive one O-bond token for each 100 ADA locked. The interest and locked ADA may be redeemed only by the holder of the O-bond token. Therefore, if traded and ownership is transferred, the O-bond token would then be redeemable by the new owner, very similar to how AADA Finance's NFT loan bonds work. This marketplace enables more flexibility for O-bond holders to have control over exiting positions in advance of the token unlock to occur based on their initial lending agreement. If you want to find out more, check out this article linked in the description below. Next up, and earlier today, Indigo Protocol announced the introduction of a new synthetic asset option now available to mint on Cardano. As you may be aware, Indigo's sole purpose is to tokenize value by creating synthetic assets that in essence tracks the price of real-world assets or assets from outside of the Cardano blockchain, bringing new tradable options to our ecosystem. At launch, you may remember Indigo issued both iUSD and iBTC. Well, the Indigo DAO has now whitelisted iEthereum, which is the first new iAsset to be introduced since the platform's launch. Users can now mint iETH at the Indigo dApp and will soon be able to trade this asset across Cardano DEXs. Now, with DeFi still in mind, let's talk AADA Finance, the first peer-to-peer lending and borrowing protocol built on Cardano, who pioneered the NFT bond concept. Since we last covered the project, there has been some interesting platform developments, and we'll also discuss what 2023 holds for a project that I think is really going to achieve some big things in the Cardano DeFi space this year. After launching the protocol in September, the dev team has continued to improve the platform, introducing new features like lender's request and the NFT bond marketplace, along with numerous improvements to the UI and UX, which capped off a productive and successful 2022. It has to be said, with all considered, when you take a step back and review the entire development rollout, they've definitely proven themselves to be the kind of builders that we want to see in the Cardano ecosystem. Transparent, reliable, community-focused, highly capable, and importantly, ones who have utilized Cardano's unique EUTXO architecture to deliver something useful and extremely innovative in our DeFi space. I think shedding light on dev teams that may not get the most exposure is important, especially ones who have delivered a working product. AADA Finance is probably one of the best examples of this. Keeping a close eye on the ecosystem over the holiday period, I tuned into a Twitter Spaces that featured numerous Cardano builders discussing their achievements of 2022, which also included Meritus of AADA. It was only a very short segment, but he mentioned a few things that I think are going to play a big part in the project's success moving forward. Firstly, he discussed the significance of actually delivering a working product for the community. He described it as version 1 of the platform is like giving the community a rock to put the nail in the plank, and in version 2, they are building the hammer to finish the job. So why is this important? Well, successfully launching version 1 has not only delivered active users, attracted liquidity, and contributed to the build out of the Cardano DeFi space, but has also benefited the AADA Finance team greatly in terms of collecting user feedback and understanding what the community wants out of the platform. This is enabling the AADA team to really understand the direction, features, and ultimate product its users wants to interact with, which in development is extremely valuable. Although the peer-to-peer order book style format to lending they have initially delivered may be viewed as less desirable for users, say, when compared to pooled lending has always been the plan for AADA V2, and being able to get the initial product to market and build upon this as a solid foundation, I think will be looked back upon as a very savvy move. Interestingly, Meritus explained that the model in which they chose to build the AADA platform is like Lego blocks, enabling the dev team to add or remove models, features or functionality with relative ease. This is something that's going to play a significant role as the platform evolves this year, enabling them to move much faster than, say, the initial development in 2022 when version 1 was being constructed. It's clear Cardano ecosystem growth is going to be moving much faster in 2023, so having the ability to be flexible and fast with development as a result of choices made in the original design process will no doubt pay dividends. Moving forward, this Lego block concept that Meritus described is going to be key in the build out of AADA version 2 and delivering pooled lending to the platform. It's my understanding that rather than a hard V2 launch, throughout this coming year, AADA will continue to bolt on new features and functionality that will evolve the platform step by step, producing pooled lending functionality whilst retaining the current peer-to-peer order book style lending functionality. Both will run alongside each other. In some ways, this approach is similar to Muesliswap's order book and AMM style hybrid model. But whether it be peer-to-peer or peer-to-pool lending, what I really think sets this project aside is the NFT bonds that not only adds another security layer to the smart contracts, but provides the kind of utility that really benefits its users. I won't go into finer details here, as we did already deep dive on the NFT bonds in a video last month, but enabling borrowers to trade or transfer these bonds to reduce potential losses prior to liquidation, and opportunity this creates for market participants to also earn profit off the back of this, I think is going to become a vibrant marketplace in 2023. I've linked a great article from the team at AADA in the description that explains the entire NFT bond use case if you're unfamiliar. Now to some platform developments. We previously discussed the latest governance proposals that the AADA community were in the process of voting upon back in December. Well, the governance round was completed, which resulted in the introduction of IUSD, Yummy and Indie tokens all being added as borrowable assets on the AADA platform. In addition, Kopi and Wing Riders tokens were also added as further collateral options. There were, however, some more impactful governance proposals that were also voted for, which included the creation of an AADA treasury funded by platform service fees, implementation of an AADA buyback mechanism, and the introduction of a minimum platform interest fee, all to be implemented on the platform in the first quarter of 2023. All 3 proposals positively impact the AADA community and future platform development. I look forward to seeing the impact here and of course how future proposals continue to shape the protocol's direction. I don't often make predictions, but everything I'm seeing from this project, the dev team, the delivery of V1, the AADA community itself, innovation and emergence of the NFT bond market all leads me to believe that they have a very bright future and significant role to play in the Cardano ecosystem. This is no doubt a real big year ahead for the Cardano DeFi space, with stablecoins soon to arrive, Liquid's peer-to-pool lending platform said to be launching this month, and both Axo and Genius Yield on course for a Q1 launch. Alongside all the protocols already deployed that continue to develop their platforms, things are getting real interesting in the Cardano ecosystem, and we'll continue to follow it all right here on Cardano Insights. So that's it for today's installment of Cardano Insights as we keep track of the developments and continue to spread those positive Cardano vibes. If you found value in the content and want to help Sapien reach that wider audience, then please be sure to comment, share, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell, which is the best way you can help support the channel. We'll be back soon with your Cardano roundups, but until then, thanks for watching, have a great weekend ahead, and as always, keep it Cardano.